Welcome to Triumph IAS. It's a daily mains practice question and answer series. This program is exclusively designed for UPSC CSE aspirants. In this video discussion, we will discuss UPSC CSE mains previous 25-year questions. Question number 1. Examine the potential of wind energy in India and explain the reasons for their limited spatial spread. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. India has the fourth highest wind installed capacity in the world with a total installed capacity of 39.25 gigawatts as of 31st March 2021. The recent assessment indicates a gross wind power potential of 302 gigawatts in the country at 100 meters and 695.50 gigawatts at 120 meters above ground level. India can generate 127 gigawatts of offshore wind energy with its 7,600 kilometers of coastline. The main body of the answer should be: more than 95% of commercially exploitable resources are located in 7 states only. The reasons for their limited spatial spread are: number 1. Less lucrative. Number 2. Intermittent nature, low power generation when the wind speed is low. Number 3. Requires huge initial capital. Number 4. Land acquisition is another major challenge. Conclusion of the answer is: the wind sector dominated their capacity addition for almost 3 decades, but its share has been declining now. It is required that the problems associated with the growth of the wind sector be addressed at the earliest so that it gets back on track. Question number 2. Reforming the government delivery system through the direct benefit transfer scheme is a progressive step, but it has its limitations too. Comment. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Direct benefit transfer, DBT, is a Government of India scheme to improve subsidy administration. DBT envisages a switch from the present electronic transfer of benefits to bank accounts of the beneficiary to transfer of benefits directly to Aadhaar-seeded bank accounts of the beneficiaries. The main body of the answer should be: why a progressive step? Number 1. Accurate targeting. Number 2. Deduplication. Number 3. Reduction of fraud and corruption. Number 4. Process re-engineering of schemes for simpler flow of information and funds. Number 5. Greater accountability. Number 6. Elimination of wastes in subsidy transfer. Number 7. Promoting economic justice. Limitations of DBT. Number 1. There are many rural and tribal areas which don't have banking facility and road connectivity still. Number 2. Even today, many people continue to avoid paying income tax. This will be a hurdle the government needs to overcome in order to identify deserving beneficiaries for the subsidies, thus creating an issue of inclusion and exclusion. Number 3. Targeting of BPL, below poverty line, population is still improper. Number 4. Some of the schemes are widows' pension, and scholarships, PEHL, etc. Number 5. Illiteracy of our population is a challenge to efficiency of scheme. Number 6. Money provides could be used wrongly. Number 7. In some states, DBT has been started using as electoral freebies and creating problem of fiscal deficits. Conclusion of the answer is: even though DBT has been able to arrest some leakages in system and helping to achieve the sustainable development goals, but in diverse country like India, one size cannot fit for all. Question number 3. Economic growth in the recent past has been led by increase in labor activity. Explain this statement. Suggest the growth pattern that will lead to creation of more jobs without compromising labor productivity. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Economic growth in the recent past has been led by increase in labor activity. As the access to education expanded rapidly through the 90s, the young started joining remaining in education. Hence, entrance to the labor force rose sharply to 2 million between 2004 to 5 and 2011 to 2012, just when the economy and job growth was booming. 7.5 million per annum new non-agricultural jobs were created over that period. Since then, better educated youth started joining the labor force, looking for work. The main body of the answer should be growth pattern that can keep job creation with labor productivity. The Ministry of Urban Development, MOUD, has a program called Amrit, aimed at improving infrastructure for small towns. Infrastructure investment by the government always creates many jobs. But the MOUD program does not take into account whether the infrastructure investment under this program is taking place in towns which have clusters of unorganized sector economic activities. Hence, an engagement between MOUDs and MSME is necessary to ensure that this happens. It will attract more investment to industrial clusters, which is where most non-agricultural jobs are. There are 1,400 modern industry clusters in India, and an additional 14,000 traditional product manufacturing clusters, like handloom, handicraft, and other traditional single product group clusters. There is a Cluster Development Program, CDP, of the Ministry of MSMEs as well as the Ministry of Textiles, which is poorly funded and could be better designed as well. Conclusion of the answer is, India may well be the world's fastest growing large economy, yet compared to the dream run of the Northeast, now investment is lower, as is credit of take, capacity utilization in industry, plant load factor, and agricultural growth.